In an extraordinary moment on live TV, Sylvester Stallone, an icon whose roles have captivated millions, found himself unexpectedly emotional. The stage was set on Evening Spotlight, a program known for its deep dives with renowned personalities. The host, Daniel Whitmore, opposite Stallone, had just the right mixture of respect and curiosity, setting the scene for an interview that promised to delve into remarkable depths. The audience, a blend of admirers, old and new, was poised on the edge of their seats. Sylvester Stallone, now in his late 70s, appeared as a figure of timeless charm, his features still sharp under neatly combed salt and pepper hair. Clad in a tailored black suit that hinted at his enduring, robust frame, his presence was as commanding as it had ever been. But tonight, his usual calm demeanor was replaced by a reflective, almost introspective air. As the interview unfolded, Whitmore guided Stallone through the familiar tales of his early struggles. The days of sleeping in bus stations, the heartbreaking decision to sell his dog, and his unwavering resolve not to sell his screenplay unless he played the lead role. Each anecdote, rich with the grit and determination that defined Stallone's career, resonated deeply with the audience. However, the atmosphere shifted palpably when Whitmore, with a gentle tone, introduced a slightly crumpled envelope, discovered among the belongings of Stallone's late mother. The revelation visibly shook Stallone. The mention of his mother Jackie, a woman known for her formidable strength and unwavering support for her son, brought an immediate heaviness to the air. The envelope, marked with his name in his mother's familiar handwriting, seemed to carry the weight of untold emotions. As Stallone's fingers trembled slightly reaching for it, the studio fell into a hushed anticipation. Opening the letter, he found himself transported back to memories filled with both warmth and pain, his mother's words bringing him to the verge of tears. "My dear Sylvester," the letter began, each word a poignant echo from the past, revealing Jackie's deep and enduring belief in her son's destiny. With the audience hanging on every word, Stallone's voice cracked as he read aloud. The message was profound, filled not just with encouragement, but a deep, maternal understanding of the challenges he faced. She spoke of his inherent worth, which had long predated his fame and success, and of the unbreakable bond that had fortified him against the harshest times. As he read, the connection between Stallone and the audience grew stronger, each person drawn into the raw emotional landscape being shared. The letter, never sent but profoundly felt, seemed to bridge the gap between the public figure known to the world and the private man who still valued his mother's approval above all else. In this charged moment, Stallone was not just a celebrity, but a son touched by the timeless love of his mother, revealing vulnerabilities that made him infinitely more relatable and human. The segment ended with the studio audience, and perhaps many more watching at home, deeply moved, their applause a heartfelt response to the unexpected and stirring journey Sylvester Stallone had shared. As the applause faded, the atmosphere in the studio remained electric, charged with the profound intimacy of Sylvester Stallone's revelations. The host, Daniel Whitmore, took a moment to let the weight of the scene settle before guiding the conversation deeper into the terrain of Stallone's storied past. The focus shifted to Stallone's early days, a time characterized by raw determination and sheer survival. The legendary actor recounted his initial struggles in Hollywood, where he faced rejection after rejection. Each story underscored the resilience and tenacity that Stallone had become known for. Yet, hearing about these challenges in the context of his mother's unwavering belief painted them in a starkly different light, highlighting not just the battle, but the emotional toll it took on him. As he spoke, Stallone's voice carried a mixture of nostalgia and pain. He described how, during his lowest points, the thought of his mother's confidence in him was the beacon that kept him pushing forward. He vividly recalled moments of despair, particularly the time he sold his beloved dog to make ends meet, a decision that haunted him long after his fortunes had changed. The audience was captivated, some visibly moved, as they were shown a side of Stallone rarely seen in public, a glimpse of the man behind the myth. The conversation then took an even more personal turn as Stallone delved into the impact of his mother's passing. Her death had left a void that he struggled to articulate, yet he bravely shared the depth of his loss with the audience. The letter, a connection to her enduring spirit, seemed to serve as both a comfort and a reminder of her lasting influence on his life. In a particularly poignant moment, Stallone shared anecdotes of his mother's life, her own struggles, and her unconventional paths to success. He spoke of her as his first and most influential coach, whose lessons extended well beyond the boxing ring or film set. The audience was treated to stories of Jackie Stallone's larger-than-life personality, her ventures into astrology and wrestling promotion, and her role as a mother who had instilled in her son the importance of self-belief and the courage to persist against all odds. As the segment drew to a close, Whitmore prompted Stallone to reflect on the ways in which his mother's teachings had helped shape his approach to later challenges in his career, particularly during his rise to fame with the Rocky series. Stallone acknowledged that each script he wrote, each character he brought to life was imbued with the lessons learned from his toughest critic and biggest fan, his mother. The studio, filled with an audience that had been on a journey through Stallone's emotional landscape, broke into applause once more, moved by the power of his story and the universal themes of love, loss, and legacy. As the lights dimmed, signaling the end of the segment, the connection forged between Stallone and those who had witnessed his vulnerability was palpable, leaving a lasting impression of a man who had transcended his celebrity to share a deeply human experience. As the third segment began, the studio lights slowly brightened, bringing a renewed focus to the profound narrative unfolding. Sylvester Stallone, now more composed but visibly moved by the journey through his past, shifted the discussion towards a pivotal moment in his career, his breakthrough with Rocky. Daniel Whitmore, tapping into the undercurrent of resilience that ran through Stallone's stories, asked him to recount the days leading up to and following the creation of Rocky, a film that not only defined his career but also reshaped the landscape of American cinema. Stallone's face lit up with a mix of pride and reflection as he delved into the backstory of the iconic movie, his narrative infused with a palpable sense of gratitude towards his mother's enduring influence. He described the desperation that had driven him to write the script, channeling all his frustrations and dreams into the character of Rocky Balboa, an underdog boxer who gets a shot at a championship. The emotional connection to Rocky was undeniable. Stallone shared that the character's resilience mirrored his own life struggles, shaped decisively by the encouragement and tough love from his mother. The actor recounted the numerous rejections he faced when pitching Rocky, emphasizing how each "no further" cemented his resolve. He recalled a particularly discouraging meeting where a producer praised the script but blatantly dismissed Stallone's potential as the lead. It was his mother's voice, resonant and clear in his memory, that urged him not to compromise, to stand firm in his belief that he was the only one who could bring Rocky to life. The studio audience, already enthralled, leaned in as Stallone described the turning point. The moment a studio finally agreed to produce Rocky, but with the stringent condition that it be made on a shoestring budget with Stallone as its star. The challenges of filming under financial constraints became a testament to his and the crew's determination, mirroring the very essence of Rocky's story. As he spoke of the film's premiere and unexpected sweep at the Oscars, his voice wavered with emotion. The triumph was not just a personal victory, but a homage to his mother's belief in the impossible. The audience, many of whom could recite lines from Rocky by heart, erupted into applause, deeply moved by the revelation of how closely art had imitated life. Whitmore then steered the conversation towards the impact of Rocky on Stallone's life and career after its success. Stallone shared insights into the sudden shift in public perception, from being virtually unknown to a symbol of perseverance and the American dream. He discussed the surreal experience of navigating fame, the subsequent roles he chose, and how he continually infused his mother's teachings into his work, ensuring her legacy lived on through his films. The segment concluded with Stallone reflecting on the broader impact of his mother's life lessons, particularly her insistence on resilience and fighting spirit, which he aimed to pass on to his children and through his philanthropic efforts. He spoke passionately about mentoring young actors and supporting charitable causes, actions driven by his mother's example of giving back to the community despite her own struggles. As the lights dimmed, signaling the end of the segment, the studio was steeped in a reflective silence, broken only by a respectful round of applause. The audience had not only been entertained, but had been given a rare glimpse into the soul of a man who had lived through significant highs and lows, all the while guided by the strength of his mother's spirit. As the fourth segment of Sylvester Stallone's emotional journey began, the studio audience settled into a reflective quiet, eager to continue exploring the depths of the actor's profound experiences. Daniel Whitmore, the host, skillfully shifted the focus towards the aftermath of Rocky's monumental success, delving into how Stallone navigated the complexities of his newfound fame and the subsequent chapters of his career. Sylvester Stallone, with a thoughtful gaze, started by discussing the daunting expectations that followed his early success. He opened up about the pressure to surpass or at least replicate the triumph of Rocky, a challenge that many in his position might have found overwhelming. Stallone's recount of this period was tinged with the wisdom of hindsight, acknowledging how these challenges forced him to evolve both personally and professionally. He spoke candidly about the subsequent films such as Rambo, which not only solidified his status as a Hollywood icon, but also underscored his ability to delve into various facets of storytelling and character development. Stallone emphasized how these roles allowed him to explore themes of resilience and redemption, always echoing his mother's life lessons. The conversation took a deeper turn as Stallone reflected on the personal struggles he faced during this period. Despite his on-screen success, he battled with the realities of public scrutiny and the personal demand to stay relevant in an ever-changing industry. The actor shared poignant stories of self-doubt and resilience, each narrative punctuated by the wisdom his mother had instilled in him, reminding him and the audience that the true measure of success is not just found in public acclaim, but in personal integrity and persistence. Whitmore then prompted Stallone to discuss the evolution of his career into directing and producing, roles that allowed him more creative control but also came with a new set of challenges. Stallone's shift to behind-the-camera work was a testament to his determination to shape his narrative, both literally and figuratively. He highlighted how these experiences were instrumental in developing a deeper understanding of the film industry and his own capabilities as a storyteller. As the segment neared its end, Stallone shared reflections on how his mother's teachings helped him navigate the highs and lows of his later career. He discussed the importance of staying true to one's vision and values, even when faced with industry pressure and the inevitable cycles of career highs and lows. The discussion resonated deeply with the audience, offering insights not only into Stallone's career, but also into the universal challenges of sustaining success and personal growth. The studio audience responded with an inspired round of applause as the segment concluded with Stallone expressing gratitude for the enduring lessons from his mother, which he credited with keeping him grounded and focused through the whirlwind of his life and career. As the fifth segment of the evening began, the atmosphere in the studio was one of deep respect and eager anticipation. Daniel Whitmore, the skilled host, shifted the focus towards the enduring legacy of Sylvester Stallone, not only in terms of his cinematic contributions, but also through his personal commitments and philanthropic efforts. Sylvester Stallone, reflecting a serene maturity, began by discussing the impact of his mother's legacy on his own approach to life and work. He emphasized how her spirit and teachings continued to influence his choices long after her passing. Stallone shared that each of his projects, whether in front of or behind the camera, was imbued with the lessons of resilience, determination, and integrity she had instilled in him. The discussion then turned to Stallone's efforts to give back to the community, a reflection of his mother's lifelong example of support and generosity. He talked about his involvement in various charitable activities, focusing particularly on programs that empower young people through arts and sports. Stallone passionately described how these initiatives were designed not only to provide opportunities, but also to instill a sense of self-worth and persistence in the participants. Whitmore asked Stallone about the challenges of balancing such a demanding career with personal commitments, especially as a father. Stallone's response highlighted his dedication to being a present and supportive parent, mirroring the role his mother had played in his life. He shared personal anecdotes about teaching his children the value of hard work and the importance of following their passions, regardless of the obstacles they might face. The conversation also explored Stallone's views on the future of cinema and his role in it. He expressed enthusiasm about the evolving technology and storytelling methods, showing a keen interest in continuing to innovate and influence the industry. However, Stallone also voiced concerns about the preservation of cinematic history and the need to maintain a human touch in storytelling, despite advances in technology. As the segment drew to a close, Whitmore invited Stallone to reflect on what he hoped his legacy would be. Stallone's response was thoughtful and heartfelt. He hoped to be remembered not just as an actor or filmmaker, but as someone who contributed positively to the world, inspired others to overcome challenges, and lived a life true to the values his mother had taught him. The studio audience, moved by Stallone's words, gave a heartfelt round of applause as the segment ended. The respect and admiration for Stallone's journey and his commitment to honoring his mother's legacy were palpable in the room. As the final segment of the evening began, the studio lights dimmed slightly, creating an intimate atmosphere that was perfect for deep reflection. Daniel Whitmore, the host, reintroduced Sylvester Stallone, who now seemed to embody a blend of contemplation and resolve. This part of the evening was dedicated to looking forward, considering both Stallone's personal aspirations and his broader hopes for the impact of his work in life. Stallone began by discussing the importance of legacy, particularly how he wanted to be remembered by future generations. He spoke about his desire to leave behind more than just a catalog of films, but a lasting imprint on the hearts and minds of people around the world. He emphasized his hope that his journey could serve as a beacon of resilience and determination, inspiring others to persevere against all odds. Whitmore then steered the conversation towards Stallone's current and future projects. Stallone shared his excitement about several upcoming films and initiatives, each reflecting his evolving interests and the lessons he's learned throughout his career. He highlighted a particular project that was close to his heart, one that dealt with themes of redemption and personal growth, which he believed encapsulated the essence of his life's lessons. The discussion took a reflective turn as Stallone pondered the changes he had witnessed in the entertainment industry and how these influenced his approach to storytelling and filmmaking. He expressed a cautious optimism about the future, emphasizing the importance of maintaining authenticity and emotional depth in an era dominated by digital effects and fast-paced content. As the conversation drew to a close, Whitmore asked Stallone about his personal goals for the next decade. Stallone's response was introspective. He talked about his commitment to personal growth, his ongoing journey of learning and self-discovery, and his desire to continue making a difference in the lives of others, especially through his charitable endeavors. Finally, Whitmore invited Stallone to share any last thoughts or words of wisdom with the audience. Stallone took a moment to gather his thoughts, then looked directly into the camera, his gaze steady and sincere. He spoke about the value of hard work, the importance of staying true to oneself, and the incredible power of human will. He urged viewers to never give up on their dreams, no matter the obstacles, and to remember that every moment of struggle is an opportunity for growth. As the segment ended, the audience stood in a spontaneous ovation, not just in applause for the evening's discussion, but in recognition of Sylvester Stallone's profound impact as both an artist and a human being. The applause was rich with emotion, echoing the sentiments of respect, inspiration, and deep appreciation for the honest and open sharing of his life story. Whitmore closed the evening with a few heartfelt words, thanking Stallone for his vulnerability and openness, and for providing such a powerful example of what it means to live a life filled with purpose and passion. As the lights slowly rose in the studio, it was clear that this interview had been more than just a retrospective of a legendary career. It was a testament to the enduring power of love, belief, and resilience. A fitting tribute to the legacy of Jackie Stallone, whose spirit had permeated every moment of the evening. If you enjoyed this story, there's another video on screen right now. Go ahead and give it a look for an even more astonishing stories. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, that way you'll never miss our newest uploads.